Hello, Barb Munson again. Welcome back to the third out of a 3-video series on managing the unthinkable, what to do when your best employees want to leave. In the first video, we talked about the series of questions that you can ask those who are about to leave or you suspect they're looking around, and how I've helped people assess for themselves whether they're being hasty in their decision to leave. We also talked about the team dynamics that are going on in today's workplace that we just haven't seen before. And I gave you a few different things to consider. That was in video 2. I also mentioned that those things will be a bit harder to implement if you don't have trust in your organization. So just like that topic of team dynamics, this is far too big of a topic to just give you a quick solution that will change everything. However, you have to start somewhere. So this is a start. Where do we start with trust? It's a hard one because trust is partly a reflection on the corporate culture and partly a reflection on you as a leader. They can be different. So it certainly relies on what you've created within your team and one-on-one relationships, which of course you have more control over and more influence over changing. When it comes to building trust, you have to go first because you are the leader. And this is one of those areas where you will need to manage your expectations. Trust is a long game. You need to play it like a long game. Even if you take all of my trainings to heart, you can't suddenly start recognizing your team as individuals and begin being interested in their lives or suddenly start asking, hey, how are you doing today? It won't flip overnight. You have to do it through some action. You need to be trustworthy and you need to demonstrate that you trust others. Again, just like the team dynamic, this has to be personalized depending on your circumstances, but I can give you some general guidelines to start with. A really high-level example might be delegating something that you are really uncomfortable delegating, something that you previously were not willing to give up. It also could just mean being more transparent with your communication. It could be sharing a mistake that you made. Or what about asking someone on the team to just help you solve a problem because you trust their problem-solving skills? Just start there. Start by delegating something, doing something that you're a little uncomfortable with. If you need to develop more trusting relationships, then there are some conversations you need to have. Honestly, I would recommend this for any leader, even if you're already just a total rock star leader. It never hurts to do this. I want you to ask each team member, what is most important to you outside of work? And how can I support you? Now, there's a few ground rules that go with this, but I'm going to repeat it again. What is most important to you outside of work? And how can I support you? The ground rules are, this is not an HR survey. It's not an email. Certainly not a mass email, and it's not just a one-to-one email or a Slack message or whatever online communication tool you use. It is eyeball to eyeball. It's either a video call or in person if you work together in person, but you need to see them so you can see their reaction, their body language, and they can see yours. Also, before you do this, please run it through your HR channels, your legal channels. I want you to say it in a workplace appropriate way. And you need to tailor it. If you have someone who's particularly private, be sensible about it. That's the gist of it. But you want to know, who are they outside of their desk? What's important to them? How can you support them? And bonus, this is a great thing to ask potential candidates for hire. That will set you apart from other potential employers. But here's the thing. Just like the questions that I told you to ask in video number 1 about the environment and how they feel about their compensation, the answers that you get will directly reflect the level of trust that exists. If you get very superficial answers, very standard answers like, oh, family. If you get something very surface, very guarded, then you know you have more work to do there. And don't feel badly about it. So many leaders are working so hard and you beat yourselves up, and then you let this become an issue with confidence or capability. Don't feel badly about it. This is good information. Use it as information. And if you do get a wide open door, you might get more than you wanted, but you know you're being trusted. We mentioned last time, it's really important to see your people as individuals and to know them as individuals. And you can't know them if you don't know what's important to them. Now, I want you to think about your top 2 to 3 team challenges at work and whether trust could actually be the underlying factor. For example, I am still hearing a lot of conflict and a lot of emotion over remote work. And I want you to ask yourself, why is there a struggle over it? And what is your personal position on that? What is your leadership position on that? And I really want you to dig down, get right down deep on why. If someone says we need to work face to face to feel like a team, why? Keep asking why to every answer. Keep uncovering it. Well, because it's more efficient. Why? And who is it more efficient for? It might truly be more efficient for you because either your leadership style or even your schedule dictates that you need to be able to easily access everyone. You want to stop by their desk. You want to drop in. You want to ask questions, give instructions, get updates. But is that really efficient? Or is it the opposite of efficiency? Because I also hear from the other side a lot of how people are interrupted all day long. And a major complaint they have about work is that they cannot start and finish anything in one sitting. That hurts our brains after a while. So I want you to ask yourself, what is the actual problem? The problem isn't where people are sitting. What's the actual problem? Is it that productivity is actually down? You've measured it. Is it that you don't get timely responses from people? Customer needs aren't being met. I mean, those are valid problems, but those are different from the solution that you're trying to interject. Is it more of a feeling that you don't want people to work remotely because if you admit it, you really think about it, you don't trust them, you don't think things will get done, or you fear what might happen? That is an example of where trust does start with you. And you might have to take an uncomfortable step and pick your battles on this one. Be trustworthy, really get to know the people, and investigate the actual problem. Don't just focus on the symptoms. Now, if some of this has given you an aha moment, or maybe you just don't know where the next step might be, I really encourage you to get in touch with me. I cannot stress enough the importance of employee retention and engagement. You already know this. You're business leaders, you know that it's important. Maybe your turnover rates themselves are low, but the people that you have are not highly engaged. Maybe they are not performing anywhere near their potential. So therefore, neither is your organization. And that is my leadership superpower, bringing out potential. I read a Forbes study earlier this year that said anywhere from 18 to 34% of any individual's salary is lost because of disengagement. 18 to 34%. When you think of the high cost of your people resources, I mean, I remember I come from finance. I believe in getting what you pay for. So if you're seeing some of this and your out of the box solutions and your standard training sessions aren't motivating anyone and they aren't fixing the issue, it is time. That's a signal to you. It's time to get a customized plan. So if you would like a free assessment on what might most be needed to help your particular unique needs, I will send a follow-up email with a link to you can schedule this assessment to get one. Or if you just have a few questions about it first, feel free to just reply to that email, or you can submit a message through the contact form on my website. If you know my name, you know my website. It's just barbmunson.com, MONSON. Together, we can improve your engagement and your retention. And I just want you to remember, all leaders are struggling with something. And leadership is lonely. You need people on your team. My whole job is to make that easier. And if that's something that I can't deliver for you, I can help you find who can. So I look forward to seeing you on my calendar so we can talk through what a solution might look like for you and your specific organization, and where we can problem solve together. Until then, I thank you for continuing to refine yourself as a leader by spending time watching these videos, taking part in this, and just being interested enough in your employees and your organization to spend some time on this. So thank you, and bye for now.